The Garden of Still Waters, a peaceful journey through Psalm 23. In the quietness of the night, as the stars take their places across the velvet sky, let your heart rest and your spirit breathe. Tonight, we journey into a story inspired by one of the most comforting passages in the Bible, Psalm 23. This is not merely a tale of words, but a walk beside still waters, through green pastures, under the tender gaze of the shepherd who never sleeps. Take a deep breath. Feel the weight of the day loosen its hold. Let your thoughts drift like gentle ripples on a calm lake as we begin our story. Once upon a time, in a land where the hills rolled like soft waves beneath the horizon, there was a young shepherd named Elior. He tended a small flock in the valleys of Judah, where wildflowers painted the meadows in colors of peace and promise. The days were long but kind, and the evenings were filled with songs of crickets and the low hum of the wind brushing through olive trees. Elior was gentle, not only in heart, but in spirit. He often spoke to his sheep as if they could understand every word. "You are safe," he would whisper as the sun sank low. "The Lord is our shepherd. We shall not want." Each morning he led them to green pastures where the grass was soft and sweet. The dew glistened on their wool, sparkling like tiny jewels in the sunlight. The air was cool, scented with lavender and wild thyme. Elior would sit on a rock nearby, playing his wooden flute, a soft, lilting tune that made even the birds pause to listen. But as the sun began to set each evening, the valleys would shift. The golden light turned to shadow, and the soft hills seemed deeper, darker. Sometimes wolves would cry in the distance, and the flock would tremble. In those moments, Elior would rise, lift his staff, and speak softly into the night. "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." And peace would return. One quiet night, as the moon rose full and silver, Elior led his flock toward a hidden spring he had discovered days before. It was a place few men knew, a circle of smooth stones surrounding a pool of clear, cool water. The air was still, almost sacred. Above, the stars shimmered so close it felt as if heaven itself leaned down to listen. As his sheep drank, Elior knelt beside the spring. He dipped his hands into the water, feeling its cool touch flow between his fingers. He thought of all the days behind him, the storms, the hunger, the weariness, and yet somehow he had never been alone. He closed his eyes and whispered, "He restores my soul." A gentle breeze swept through the valley then, brushing against his face like a hand of light. It carried the scent of myrrh and cedar, and in that still moment, Elior felt something deep within him, a peace not of this world. Days passed, and the seasons began to change. The sun warmed the hills, and the sheep grew healthy and strong. Elior's heart grew quieter too, more trusting, more still. But one afternoon, dark clouds began to gather over the mountains. A storm was coming, one stronger than any Elior had seen. The wind howled, twisting through the trees, and the first crack of thunder sent the flock scattering in fear. Elior ran through the valley, calling out to them. His voice echoed between the rocks. "Do not fear, stay near." Lightning flashed across the sky, and rain began to pour, soaking the earth and turning the paths into rivers of mud. One by one, Elior found his sheep, trembling, wet, but alive. At last he found the smallest one, a little lamb trapped between two stones. Without hesitation, he knelt down, lifted the lamb into his arms, and whispered again, "You are safe." The shepherd never leaves his own. Through the thunder and rain, Elior carried his flock back to a cave at the foot of the hill. There, by the dim glow of his lantern, he counted each one, whispering prayers of thanks as he did. When all were safe, he sat at the cave's entrance and watched the storm rage across the sky. He wasn't afraid. Deep within his heart, he heard the ancient promise that goodness and mercy would follow him all the days of his life. And in that moment, he realized something beautiful. Storms don't destroy faith, they reveal it. As the night faded and the rain slowed to a gentle drizzle, Elior stepped out to see the dawn rising over the valley. The world glistened, washed clean. The air was cool and fragrant, the earth alive with color once more. He walked to the spring, now overflowing with new life, and saw his reflection ripple across the surface. He smiled softly and whispered, "Surely, goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever." He lay down beside the still waters, his staff resting across his chest, the sound of trickling water lulling him into rest. The sheep grazed nearby, safe and content, their gentle bleats blending with the whispers of the wind. The sky above turned a gentle gold as morning broke, and Elior drifted into peaceful sleep, knowing that the same shepherd who watched over his flock was watching over him too. Now as you listen, let your mind rest in that same peace. The Lord is your shepherd. You shall not want. He leads you beside still waters. He restores your soul. He prepares a table before you, even in the presence of your fears. Surely goodness and mercy will follow you too, not just tonight but all the nights to come. Let his peace wrap around you like a blanket of light. Let his voice be the gentle wind in your dreams. And as sleep comes softly upon you, remember, you are never alone. You are safe, you are loved, you are home. Sleep tight and good night.